Well, Dave, I am so glad that you're here at Hummingbirds Off the Deep End at the CCA workbench.
Just don't breathe your cold on me.
I'm not going to breathe it. Just I'm at the tail end of this.
Well, we're
thing.
talking about tarpon, and I found out a lot. I did a little research on tarpon because I don't fish for tarpon a lot like you do. I spend more of my time chasing sailfish and whatnot. But one really cool thing about tarpon is that when I asked you, hey man, do you think tarpons can see color? And you didn't know, so I looked it up. They can see color, and they can see different colors at different times in their lives. All animals have rods and cones in their eyeballs, and the rods help them see light and dark and are able to get details, and the cones allow them to see colors. Well, a tarpon has stem cells in the back of his eyes that can change over its lifetime.
Really?
So when it's a baby, it can see green and some blues and stuff like that. But as it gets older, it tends to see more purples and darks. And I was looking at your box here. You got a lot of dark purple stuff.
Right.
And that's probably because they can see it a lot better. And they can see UV light when they get older, ultraviolet light. They have excellent night vision because they have a reflective strip that goes around the back of their retina. So that giant eyeball, which they're named for, that's
Right.
the tarpon's name, is from that giant eyeball. He can see great details in the dark, and he can also see UV. The bigger he gets, the better he can see at night, and the more UV he can see.
Well, that's
so
cool.
if you guys are wanting to chase him, big tarpon especially, I would use dark colors, dark blues, dark purples, and have some UV stuff
Well,
in it.
we have a saying: the darker the sky, the darker the fly, or the darker the lure.
Mm-hmm.
And then the brighter the sky, the brighter the fly. So in the bright parts of the day, you might switch to a chartreuse or a white or a yellow, depending on the color of the bottom that you're fishing on. So that's just a tan, something lighter.
Well, tarpons get big, and when a 100-pound tarpon is probably 13 or 14 years old, and by the time they get really big, they can get up to 355 pounds, 400 pounds. A male can be 30 years old, and a female can be 50 years old. Males don't get as big as the females. Females get bigger because they have to put out a lot more eggs as they go through life, and they need all that bulk to put out those eggs. But seeing as how you catch tarpon a lot, I was kind of hoping, because if you're a guy going down to the Keys, most time I get questions. Hey, where should I go fishing? And if I was fishing for tarpon, what's the best bridge in the Keys?
The best bridge in the Keys by far, in my opinion, is the Bay of Honda Bridge. And let me tell you why. Whether the tarpon come out of the Gulf and they come by Key West, everybody seems to want this time of year to end up at the Bay of Honda Bridge, 7 Mile Bridge. That's where the big giant palello worm hatch is. That's where I like to go this time of year to try to catch a fish. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna use live crabs. That's gonna be the best bait. Now, you can fish Long Key Bridge early in the season, April, even March, and with a big giant black mullet.
I've fished there once, actually.
Then you'll catch them there. You get shark there.
Right. What's the best tide for usually?
The tide really doesn't matter. What I think seems to work the best is certainly moving water, but that last hour of the tide change, the last hour of the falling, the first hour of the incoming, where it's not such massive rushing volume. And I think that's more because of the bait is down in their zip code. So maybe we don't weight our baits enough.
So if you're standing on a bridge, what kind of gear are you going to use? What kind of rod or reel?
If we're gonna be standing on the bridge, I want to have a clicker drag. So this Akuma, Makaira reel, or even the Azor reels, the Andros reels, as long as it's got a clicker on it, Dave, because you want to be able to free line it without it backlashing. That's going to really work. We're going to load it up with 832, probably 40 to 65 pound test. And then you're going to use a heavy leader, 60 pound, 50 pound to get the bite.
Do you need fluorocarbon or?
Yeah, fluorocarbon is going to certainly work well.
And a circle hook.
Right, and if you can't get a bite, go down, and that circle hook will allow you to use a lot lighter leader.
Right.
So the Suffix Invisalign seems to work very well. Sometimes at the Bay of Honda, we use 40 pound.
Bay of Honda Bridge.
Yeah.
All right, beautiful.
So.